Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. You are now listening to Hard Talk with Jason Hardin, the podcast that brings you the cold, hard truth about finding success in today's society. Allow me to introduce your host, publisher, producer, entrepreneur, and community activist, Jason Hardin.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Jason Hardin, and this episode is about canceling out the noise, staying focused. If you guys didn't know, in order to be successful in anything, the key ingredient is focus. Focus. Seriously, nothing happens by chance when it comes to overall and long-term success. It all takes focus. And unfortunately, it's so easy to lose focus. And I know how hard it is. It affects us all sometimes. It definitely affects me. And that's why I wanted to try to help you guys and try to bring some actionable tips that if you apply them, you'll see that you're able to get more things done. You'll find that more of the projects you want to tackle, more of the jobs you want to do, more of the things you want to create, more of the businesses you want to get into will start manifesting and start happening and start taking shape once you improve your focus. All right? So, yes, we got this topic. You know, I love to listen to my audience and I love to take suggestions because it's not about me. It's about you guys. I'm already practicing what I know, and sometimes I do it without a second thought. So sometimes I don't know if it's a teachable skill, but everything's a teachable skill. But for me to teach it, I have to know that somebody needs to learn it. So we actually got this request from an awesome entrepreneur, super successful young woman, and her name is Jennifer. And I thank you, Jennifer. If you're out there listening, you're awesome, you're amazing, you're wonderful, and you are great. And thanks again for asking this question and putting this topic out there so I can kind of try to help. I can't control the result, but I can control the process. So I'm going to give you my process of what works for me, and hopefully you guys can apply it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys, and believe me, I'm going to give out a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps today. So I'm going to give you 6 tips to keeping better focus in your life. All right? Okay. So let's talk about why focus is important. First of all, let's talk about why focus is important, especially when becoming an entrepreneur. There's a lot of projects. There's a lot of things that we need to do as business people, as entrepreneurs, as executives, as just people generally, because this is not a tip and this is not a skill that's useful for just entrepreneurs. This is a skill useful for everyday life. And you know, and people have a lot of issues, tiny little issues, and sometimes major issues that just stem from the lack of focus. You know, lack of focus can lead to bills piling up, dishes piling up, work piling up, problems piling up. You know what I'm saying? So focus gets things done, basically. Focus keeps things from piling up. And if you're trying to just live a normal, clean, healthy life, it takes focus. But if you're trying to go beyond that, to gain something greater for yourself, more income, more resources, more time with your family, more places to go, you know what I'm saying? You have to have focus. You have to master focus if you want to master life. So, like I said, I got 6 tips for you, and I'm about to lay them out. Number 1, goals. If you don't know what you're focused on, how will you ever be focused? You have to set goals. You have to know what you want out of life. That's a goal. Knowing what you want out of life. And don't let nobody tell you what you want out of life. Figure it out. Figure it out. Seriously. Take a second, take a moment, stop this podcast now, push pause or something, and sit back in complete silence and figure out what you want out of life. And when I say figure it out, don't say, oh, I want to be rich. Damn, I want a lot of money. Oh, I want a best job. I want a better job. And I want better for my kids. How? When I say goals, it's how. I want to create this doing this. You know, I want to make more money by being this. You know what I'm saying? So kind of make it in complete sentences. Make your goals in complete sentences. If you just say one word, it's hard to stay focused on something that's very vague and broad. But if you kind of be very specific in what you want, you'll see it'll manifest a little easier because you have a clearer end game in mind. You have a clearer destination. You know what I'm saying? You actually need a destination to know where to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing that you must always do in life, period. But to stay focused for certain is have a goal. Have a goal. You know what I'm saying? Set them. And the more goals you have, the better. Have big goals, little goals, long-term goals, short goals. You know what I'm saying? The more, the better. And that just alone will give you something to focus on. Okay, number 2. We're gonna go back and name them all again. So don't worry, they won't get lost. I promise you. Number 2, plan. Plan. Now that you have a goal, have a plan. You know, if your goal is to be a principal of a school, you know what I'm saying? Have your plan of going to school to become a teacher, getting accredited, interning, volunteering, teacher's aid, up to, teachers, up to admin, whatever it is, have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Have a plan. If your plan is to open a business, research the business. What kind of business are you opening? How many businesses are there in your neighborhood? How much competition is there? How much opportunity is there? What do those businesses make a year? And then make steps to getting into business. Start researching products. Start developing products. Start designing stuff. And then start manufacturing your product. Have a plan. Have a plan. It's not, once you have a goal, it's easy to have a plan. It's hard to have a plan if you don't have a goal. What are you planning for? You know what I'm saying? So have a plan after you have a goal. Number 3, break down big jobs. If you have big plans, best believe there's going to be some big jobs and big tasks in there. Very big. Creating a blog is a big task. Creating a podcast is a big task. Making a show is a big task. Running for office is a big task. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of big tasks out there that you just can't do in one step, or you can't tackle in one day. Or if you did, it might be too overwhelming. So break them down. Big things you have to do, break them down into little manageable bites. You know what I'm saying? And if you do a little of that every day, if you take them little chunks out of that big project every day, if you knock out these little chunks out of this big project every day, soon that big project is finished. It's done. But you have to know what you're doing first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to have a goal, and you have to have a plan first. Then with your goal and your plan, you have stuff that you need to do. Some of it is big and some is small. Knock out the easy stuff first. I'm a strong believer in knocking out the easy stuff first if it's quick. Because I don't run from the hard stuff, so I'll knock out some hard stuff first too. But if it's quick and fast, knock it out. And then the hard stuff, the big stuff, the uncomfortable stuff, uneasy stuff, then you want to start breaking those down. I don't know if you guys had teachers like I did, but when we had finals or if we had a major test, teachers would always say, skip the ones you don't know and come back to it. That's the same as doing the easy stuff first. Knock out all the easy stuff, all the stuff you can do in 1 second with your eyes closed and hands tied behind your back. Do that first. But then come back to the ones you didn't get to and then break that stuff down and handle it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, anything can get done. Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing was built in a day except for things that just don't last that long. You know what I'm saying? Everything that lasts forever, everything major in life, everything huge, everything big, took big actions, took big planning, took big events, took big projects. And how do those get done? By breaking them down. And when you can break things down, sometimes you can delegate. You know what I'm saying? You break a big project down, and you might be able to say, hey, I know this guy, he's great at this part. Maybe I can pay him, maybe I can give him something in return, but maybe I can get him to do this part. He knocks this out fast. It'll take me maybe a couple hours to do it. He might do it in 20 minutes. So once you break things down, you're able to see more clearly how they can get done, because you might not even have to do everything yourself. So yeah, that's number 3. Start with your goals, start with your plan, and then you start breaking down these tasks. Number 4, go off the grid. Go off the grid. Do not disturb. Whatever you want to call it, make yourself invisible to the world when you need to. Seriously. I know there's a lot of people that can't say no when people say, hey, come on, let's go here. Or they can't answer their phone, or can't not answer their phone when it rings. Some people are just addicted to answering their phone. Me, I'm one of them. I will answer any and every phone call I get. I don't care if it's a block number. I don't care if it's weird area codes. I don't care if it's scam likely. I answer that shit. I seriously do. You never know what opportunities are on the other side of that phone. So I have a very bad habit of always answering my phone. So sometimes I have to shut it off. I have to just shut it off. Put it on silent, put it away. When I have to be in the zone, I have to get rid of my phone. Now that's a rhyme. I just made that up now. If you could use that, use it. When you gotta be in the zone, get rid of your phone. I know it sounds corny, but it just might work. You know what I'm saying? Just when you're sitting and you're trying to get stuff done, and bring, notification. I don't know about you, I got a bunch of apps and they all have notifications. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my productivity apps, my email apps, my whatever it is, my PayPal app, my Facebook, my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, they all have dings and notifications. So in the course of an hour, I might get one phone call, but 28 notifications. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know when to go off the grid. You got to know when to cut off the technology, or cut off even the internet. Whatever it is that's bringing distraction, cut it out. Cut it out for just periods long enough to get something done. You know what I'm saying? That's the cool thing about caller ID. You can call people back. You'll know who called. You know what I'm saying? So you're not missing nothing if you're doing something. All right? So know when to go off the grid. Know when to be invisible to the world. So just long enough to get things done. All right, next step. Or should I say tip? Set your brakes. Yes, set your brakes. Literally plan the times that you're not going to work. Seriously, you don't know how helpful that is. Because, when you don't plan a break and you just say, well, I'm just going to dive into this and I'm just going to stick with it until I'm finished. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you can get it all done. But if it's a big task, or if it's real tedious or mind-numbing, because some things are just mind-numbing. Seriously. Some things are just easy, but you're doing it repetitively for an hour. Like for example, me, I sell a lot of merchandise, and some of that merchandise are t-shirts that have our company, our logos, our brand, our causes and things like that. And sometimes I have to press and fold and bag and tag dozens of shirts. Dozens. And sometimes if I just don't plan a break and I try to just tackle that from beginning to end nonstop, I'll stop in the middle and I will leave that alone for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I'll just get burnt out. So what I did was I set breaks in an hour and a half. I usually try to work in 60 to 90 minute increments. So in an hour to an hour and a half, or whatever I decide, I'll say I'm gonna take a break. And I might be specific with my break. I'll say, well, I'll take this break and I'll go grab something to eat then. And then I'll come back in 30 minutes. Or I'll take this break and I'm gonna maybe listen to a podcast. Listen to some game real quick. Give me some more motivation. Just rest. Maybe just rest my eyes for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, see, I need to start turning off my ringer now. Forgot to turn it off before the podcast. Because like I said, I'm just such in a habit to answer my phone. I answer all calls. Don't be scared to answer no phone calls. When you're not working, when you're not in the zone, when you don't need to be in the zone, don't be afraid to answer phone calls. And that's just a side tip for all the entrepreneurs, hustlers, and folks out there who are trying to get to the next level. You will never get to the next level being scared to answer your phone. Why are you scared to answer your phone? If it's a bill call, if it's a bill collector calling, and you ain't got it, you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a bill collector calling a support man, talk to them. Make an arrangement. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody you don't want to talk to, tell them you don't want to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Why are you scared to answer the phone, man? So don't be scared to answer the phone, because one of them phone calls that you don't accept, that you don't know, like a private number, man, that can make all the difference in the world. Because I'll tell you one thing, there's a lot of celebrities that they go private when they send a call. There's a lot of influential people. There's a lot of millionaires and real go-getters out there who can make a lot of things happen, but they're so, I guess, influential or whatever. They don't call with their number. They don't want all the callbacks. They got so much going on, and if they feel like if they give you a number, you might harass the hell out of them. So they don't use their real number sometimes. So they call from private numbers. Some of the most, I guess, some of the most biggest things I've been involved with started with calls from a private number. Some of the biggest checks I've ever made started with a private number. Some of the biggest requests to come speak started with a private number. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to answer the phone, especially if you call yourself being an entrepreneur and trying to get to the next level. But when you need to be in the zone, don't be afraid to cut that phone off. All right? All right. Next step, make new friends. Seriously. I know it sounds harsh sometimes, and I know it sounds like, new friends, what the hell that got to do with me focusing? Sometimes the crew that you with right now isn't the one that's going to take you to that next level or to that champion. Sorry to say it, but it happens. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's possible that you might have to outgrow them. You know? You can keep them in your life, you can come back to them or whatever, but if you have to make new friends to get to that next level, don't be afraid to, and don't even hesitate. You know, and how do I make new friends? What do you, like, I'm saying, when you're trying to get into a new business, get into a new venture, try a new career or whatever it is, and it's not in the interest of the people you already know, or they just don't have any interest in that field or that business, or they're not trying to invest and you're an investor, or they're not trying to put in work and you always put in the work, or they're not trying to hustle and you're a hustler. You have to be able to be around like-minded people sometimes, and they don't have to like the same thing you do, but they have to be go-getters also. So when you have friends like that who really aren't into improving themselves, or who really don't have the urgency to get to that next level, you have to find some new people who harbor that in them. You know, you got to go to some meetups, you know, go to some community meetings. You know what I'm saying? Go to a city council meeting. They're free and they're every week. And I'm going to tell you, the most involved people in the community, some of the most wealthiest people in the community pay close attention to city council and to the decision-making process of your community. And your community is always throwing free events. Man, look at your city's website, look at their calendar, and look at all the events that are happening for free. And because they're free don't mean like they're cheap and a bunch of poor people gonna be there looking for free shit. No, that's not what they're about. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's a giveaway for kids, or if it's a community picnic and it's free. It's gonna be a bunch of people there with a lot of money who just like to be engaged with their community there. You know what I'm saying? So don't knock the free events. Don't knock the community events. Don't think, oh man, it's not going to be fun, or it's not going to be worth my time, or it's not going to be this, or that. I'm going to tell you, if you're a go-getter, you're going to find go-getters there. Seriously. You won't find them at the house chilling, smoking fucking weed with you. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. You're not going to find those folks that you need to meet to get to the next level where you already are right this moment. You're going to always have to go into that new environment. And you're gonna have to not be scared to be the only person like you there. You know what I'm saying? You might be a young Puerto Rican kid, and where your success takes for you to be in a room full of old white men. You know what I'm saying? You might be a young African American and woman, and where you need to succeed is going to take you to where a bunch of Asian women are. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to be the only person that looks like you, thinks like you, walks like you, talks like you in the room. Don't be afraid to be the only person that doesn't have a college degree in a room full of intellectuals and councilmen and millionaires. You know what I'm saying? Because not every councilman has a degree. Not every millionaire has a degree. Not every millionaire has a high school diploma. So it's not what you know, it's how you use what you know. Very, very important. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid to make new friends. You're gonna have to raise your level of productivity and just basically the caliber of your environment. You're gonna have to raise the caliber of your environment if you want to raise the caliber of your life. You know what I'm saying? You can always come back. That's the whole thing about where you've been. You can always go back. You know, success isn't a place to stay if you don't continue to do what you did to get there and continue to improve. You can always come back. Success can be a phase. You can be successful 3 months and then be right back where you were if you don't keep up the effort. So the people that you're afraid to leave, if they're not going anywhere, they're not going anywhere. So don't be afraid to leave them and come back if whatever reason you want to come back. But my thing, I love to keep moving forward. I love to keep meeting new people. I love to make new connections, and I love to learn new things. So that keeps me in the state of mind of meeting new people, of doing new things, and they go together. Like I said, doing new things is gonna lead you to meeting new people and making new friends. So don't be afraid to make new friends. Don't be afraid to go to the networking events. Don't be afraid to shake some hands. Don't be afraid to get some business cards made and hand them out. Don't be afraid to engage folks you've never met before. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to speak. Like I said, man, it's like when you're doing this, it's almost like being in elementary again, man. You just gotta work the room. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta gravitate and, hi, my name is such and such. You really gotta introduce yourself. You know, don't be afraid to introduce yourself. Seriously. You don't know how many people are just scared to introduce themselves to whoever. So don't be like that. If you want to get to that next level, it has to show. And this is one way of making it show, man. You have to be willing to leave your comfort zone. And sometimes, man, your friends are your comfort zone. The same people you hang around are your comfort zone, but they're not necessarily the same people that's going to help you level up. And that's all we're trying to do, is level up. That's the whole objective of an entrepreneur. The details might be different, the goals might be slightly different, but the main objective is to level up. To be in a different state that I've never been in before, a better state. Whether it be more this, more that, better this, better that, but that's what it's about, leveling up. So to level up, you're gonna have to be uncomfortable. You're gonna be in new environments, and you're gonna have to meet some new people. All right? Last, but certainly not least, man, I don't know if I should have put this even before goals. Because anyway, let me get into it. Staying organized. My God, stay organized. See, sometimes you might have to, like I said, I could have put this before goals, because you have to be organized in your mind to even come up with a smart goal. You know, there's SMART goals. I want your goals to be smart. Look up SMART goals, and that's an acronym. S.M.A.R.T. You know, it's SMART, and look at what that acronym means. So I'm gonna give that's your homework. So look up SMART goals and try to make all your goals smart. But to do that, it takes organization. You have to have an organized mind. And in the end, that's why I put it last, just if you didn't have that in the beginning, because if you're not organized, man, I don't want that to stop you from having a goal. You can still reach it if you have a goal, a plan, and all the other steps. So, but at some point, you're going to have to be organized. And at some point, you're going to have to stay organized. And that's physically and mentally. And I'm going to tell you why both are important. Because let's go with the physical. I know before I do any real work, I know before I really get in the zone, I have to clean my workspace. I have to organize my workspace. Now, I'm a very clean person, to be honest. I'm a very neat and clean and tidy person, but I do so much and I have so much projects going on that I might have a bunch of paraphernalia from the projects going on. You know, like when we're pressing clothes and that, I might have garment bags around. I might have tags around. I might have a bunch of t-shirts and sweatshirts and articles of clothing laying around. All brand new, all clean. Everything's new and clean and nice, but it's just cluttered. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because when you're working, man, it's okay to make a mess. When you're working, it's okay to make a mess, but as soon as you're done, you clean that stuff up. And definitely before you try to get into a zone. How many of you have had parents that said, "Oh, I can't cook in a dirty kitchen"? Some of you have, huh? I know both my parents said that. My mama and my dad said, I can't clean in a dirty kitchen. If you can clean in a dirty, I can't cook in a dirty kitchen. If you can cook in a dirty kitchen, you nasty than a motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you that right now. See, I'm judgmental. Fuck that. You call me for my opinion, or you listen to me for my opinion, you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me part of who I am. And I say that because I don't want you to be comfortable being nasty. If you're listening to my show, if you're listening to me, period, you will not be comfortable being a nasty motherfucker. Yep, I said that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, man, we have to be our best selves if you want to succeed. Seriously, if you fall short in one area on purpose, what's to say you won't fall short in this, or that area? On purpose. On purpose. You think I want you on my team if you lose on purpose? If I come to your house and I see this, and this, and this, and that, all out of place, and it's like, oh, the fuck, you a nasty mother. How you gonna be successful with me and you're not a success even with yourself? You know what I'm saying? So hold yourself to a higher standard. Stay organized, stay clean. Cleanliness is organization. You know what I'm saying? When you see things together and well placed and neat and no dust around and no nothing, you know what I'm saying? You can get things done. Your mind becomes clear when your environment's clear, and that's what we'll get into next is having a clear and organized mind. Clear and organized mind. I can guarantee you one thing: people that keep disorganization in their environment are disorganized in their head. Seriously, if you want to know how a person thinks, look at how they live. Because they're going to match. You know what I'm saying? They're literally going to match. So if you start cleaning up physically, organizing physically, it'll start being organized. Your mind will start being organized. Because if you look around and you see a bunch of crap, that's information imputed into your mind while you're trying to do something else. And that's what's going to throw your focus off. So keep an organized workspace and make organization your habit, and then your mental will start being clearer and more organized in itself. Because of ideas you don't need and tasks you don't need or not trying to do right now keep popping in your head because you're looking at this mess. You're trying to get some work done. You say, damn, I need to clean the carpet. Damn, man, my laundry, damn, it's piling up. Man, I need to, you know what? That's not going to keep you focused. So clean your surroundings, clean your desktop. And sometimes for those with laptops, clean your desktop on your laptop. Seriously. I used to be very, very bad with keeping a nasty looking desktop. I would get lazy and I would save everything to the desktop. Stop saving everything to your desktop. When you download something, save it to the file that you want it in. I don't care if it takes 7 clicks, 17 clicks, 3 clicks, man. Get all the way to the file that you want it in and put it there. Because the key to saving stuff on your computer, your hard drives or whatever, is that if you need that information 5 years from now, can you find it? And not just that, if you need that information 5 years from now and you have a team, could you tell them where to find it? So think about that. The more organized you are while you're doing something, the easier it gets to deal with it later on. You know what I'm saying? The more unorganized you are, the harder it is to operate later on. So this is a good habit to have just for the present. But when you come home from work and all this and that, and you come home to a clean house, that feels good too. You know what I'm saying? So it's also good for the future. Stay organized. So anyway, that's my 6 tips. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Like I said, I want to shorten my podcast up just so I don't waste a lot of your time. I know you guys are trying to get paid, trying to make moves. And so now I'm just trying to give you the things you can use and apply and let you run with that. I'll give you a little story, I'll give you enough evidence, and I'm going to give you the points, and I'm going to let you roll with it. But that's what I'm saying. And you know what I like to thank? I like to thank Peter Voog. So before I get out of here, I'm going to thank Peter Voog. That's Peter Voog, V-O-O-D-G. No, G-D. Sorry, Peter. But yeah, Peter Voog. And go to his website, peterjvoog.com. And this brother's a real game changer. This brother's really the real smart guy. He's a real active and very tactical individual. And I get a lot of game from him because now it's like, I believe this brother thinks the way I think, but the way he articulates it and what the level he's taken his discipline to and his ability to teach it, I think is awesome. He's very short, very to the point. I encourage you guys to listen to his podcast. It's called YEL, Young Entrepreneur Lifestyle. You can listen to it on Spotify. If you have YouTube, well, everybody has YouTube. But search Peter Voog, P-E-T-E-R-V-O-O-G-D. And like I said, very, very informative brother. Very, very organized and clear and concise when he speaks. So, very good guy. Also, Eric Thomas, man. Big shout out to Eric Thomas. Very motivating brother. Does good work in this in helping people reach their goals. And you know, these are the type of people you want to listen to because these are the type of people that help you organize your thoughts. So yeah, shout out to Peter Voog, Young Entrepreneur Lifestyle. Shout out to definitely Eric Thomas, man. And once again, like I said, want to get out of here, want you to get to work. So cut this off and start applying some of these tips. And you don't have to apply them all. Pick 1 or 2 if you can't focus on them all and master those and then come back and master the rest. Because like I said, focus is very important. You will not get to the next level by happenstance. All right? That's Jason Hardin, Hard Talk with Jason Hardin, Life of a Boss, all that other good stuff. Tune in next time. And until next time, see you later. Love y'all. Peace.
If you found anything on today's show helpful, please subscribe and share what you learned. For more access to valuable information, services, and products, visit www.hardwayenterprise.com. Until next time, stay aware, stay inspired, and stay grinding.